my name is Maylin and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flutist, performer, and music teacher located in the city of Kamloops, British Columbia, and this is my channel where we learn about everything flute. So thank you for joining me here today. In today's video, we'll be learning all about vibrato as it has been requested a long time ago. Thank you for your patience with this series. I really want to make sure that they're very well organized. As always, if you do have any questions throughout the video, please feel free to drop them in the comments section down below. I do my best to answer them as soon as I see them. And also, if you do have any issues when it comes to practicing, feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. It gives you 8 easy steps to follow to help you to organize and restructure your practice sessions so that you can get the most out of them, even if the practice sessions are only 15 minutes long. And of course, if you do like this video, feel free to press the like button. It helps me to know that you are enjoying these kinds of videos. And also, if for more videos just like this, to click the subscribe button as well. Alright, so let's just get right into the video. So what is vibrato? A vibrato is the slight flattening and raising of the pitch of a note and is typically used to add character and life to the music. It is most noticeable in singers, classically trained instruments, and most wind instruments. As a beginner, what we are taught to play is a very nice, beautiful, flat tone. So that means there's no fluctuation, it's very straight. If you're to look on a tuner, you should notice that the line doesn't move too much, or the needle doesn't move too much, so it should be centered. So for example, I'm just going to play a C without any vibrato. And now I'm going to play a C with a little bit of vibrato. So that is the difference between playing a note with vibrato and a playing note without vibrato. So why do we use vibrato? We use vibrato to add interest and contrast to the music, similar to adding marshmallows, whipped cream, and chocolate shavings to a hot chocolate. Different speeds of vibrato can also change the character of the musical phrase. The base music is still the same, but the various toppings change the overall taste and experience of the music. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be playing the same melody, but with a few variations on the vibrato. So first I'm going to play it without any vibrato. So I'm going to play it with a nice, beautiful, straight tone. And by the way, if you want to know where I'm taking this melody from, it's going to be from this book here, the Philippe Bernard, La Technique d'Embouchure, Technique of the Embouchure. I love these for working on my tones, so I thought I would use one of them for this video. So I'm going to be doing vocalise number 6 on page 15. So I'm just going to put it up right over here. So this is playing without any vibrato, a nice, beautiful, straight tone. Okay, so now I'm going to play it at the same tempo with a very slow vibrato. So that means that my flattening and raising of the pitch is going to be nice and slow. Okay, and now I'm going to play it with a nice fast vibrato. And of course, it can go a little bit faster and it can go slower. You can actually also change the tempo of the vibrato throughout the melody as well. So I'm just going to try and vary it, so some slow vibrato and some quick vibrato as well. So essentially, that is the difference between vibrato. How do we make vibrato? For flute in particular, we play vibrato with our diaphragm. So it's just like singers. What we're doing is we're using the bottom here, our muscles, to control the airspeed. So we're quickening it very slightly and then lowering it very slightly. And that's how we can get that variation in the sound. Unlike more physical instruments like a violin, for example, if you were to see what their vibrato is like, you would actually see their hands shaking. So that helps to give you that very slight variation, but you still have the nice pitch. So it slightly lowers and then raises the pitch as they move their hand. I don't recommend experimenting with vibrato until you as a player have a really strong idea of the pitch and tone of the notes. Otherwise, if you're trying to play it with the slightly flattening and sharpening, you don't have a good basis to do that off of. I personally started playing vibrato after 3 or 4 years into playing the flute. So don't feel like you need to start with vibrato right away. It's definitely something that comes on a little bit more intermediate technique for sure. One can work on training their internal tone and pitch and breath by using various free apps. I like to use Tunable, or you can also find any kind of tuner app or tuner, actual physical tuner as well. So that way you can see where your pitch is, if it's too flat or if it's too sharp. And then also you can play alongside a piano. That's a really great way of hearing how your pitch and intonation is by comparing what you're playing to the piano. As long as it's in tune, it has to be in tune. If you have reached all those, or you just want to experiment a little bit, then I'm going to teach you how I learned how to play vibrato. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick any note that you feel really, really comfortable with. I would choose a note that has more closed keys. So D, E, F, or G. So for this example, I'm just going to do G. So start with that really, really nice straight tone that you have. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lower your air. So you're going to slow the airspeed down just ever so slightly and drop the pitch. So that's going to sound like this. And I want you to do that a few times just so that you can see what it's like, what you need to do in order to drop that pitch ever so slightly. Make sure you're not moving the instrument and you're not moving your face or your embouchure. All you're doing is changing the air speed. So again, this is what that sounds like. And now you're going to do the same thing, except instead you're going to sharpen the note. So instead of lowering the airspeed, you're going to quicken it a little bit. This is what that sounds like. Very good. And now, once you have a good idea of what that feels like going up and going down, now I want you to put them together. So you're going to start on that steady pitch, lower it, then you're going to come back to the steady pitch, raise it, lower it, raise it, and you're going to do it really, really nice and slow. You might feel very tired at the beginning when you're experimenting with this. Make sure you take lots of breaks so you don't want to get too lightheaded, just so that, again, it's about experimenting with the feeling between going back and forth with the pitch. So this is what that would sound like. And then once you feel really comfortable with doing that nice slow vibrato, then what you can do is you can actually do it with a metronome. So I would start at a nice slow tempo. This is going to be 40 as a quarter note. And with each beat, you're going to lower it and raise it once. So it would sound like... And with the flute... And then what you're going to do is you're going to quicken it up just like we do with any of our other practice things. So I'm going to just skip to 60 here just for the sake of the video demonstration. So now you're starting to get faster at moving between that pitch there. And make sure you always go back to that regular pitch in case you're not sure where that original tone is, original pitch is. It's important to make sure you have that. All right, and now I'm going up to 80 for a quarter note. Okay, and now let's do 100. And then 120. And so on, until you can actually do double speed. And once you get fast enough, it'll sound like this. There you go, and that's how you play vibrato. And it's important to experiment with the speed of the vibrato as well, depending on the music and the era of the music that you're playing. And sometimes you want a faster vibrato, sometimes you want it slower, sometimes you don't want a vibrato at all. For example, like in Baroque music, it's very minimal to no vibrato just because that's not traditionally how it was played back then. These are all things that you would have to take into consideration depending on what kind of music you're playing. Otherwise, another technique that I like to do with the quickening is you can do it with the actual articulation. So let's say we have a steady beat. So let's start with quarter note equals 60. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the vibrato. So I'm going to start with quarter notes. And then I go to half of that, which would be eighth notes, 16ths, 30 seconds, etc. So that would sound like this. So that's also a great way to experiment with going from a slower vibrato to a faster vibrato. All right, so that's going to be it for today's video. As always, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section down below. I'll get back to them as soon as I see them. And also, if you do have any issues when it comes to practicing, feel free to check out my free practice guide, also located in the description down below. It gives you 8 easy steps to follow to help you to reorganize your practice sessions so you get the most productive work out of them. For the next few videos, they'll be coming out very soon. I just have to write up the script for them, and then it'll be coming out. So as always, if you do like the video, again, please feel free to like and also to subscribe. It helps to bring other people to the channel as well. So thank you again all for watching, and as always, happy fluting!